And so we thought that there was a need to speak him on an idea so that you have the foundation on some of the things that we'll be asking him about. And then later on at 5:30, we'll speak with the immigration. They are quite responsible for the borders, and so in the phase of the rise of the exponential rise in the coronavirus cases, what are they doing around the borders? So we'll be speaking with them. And this program, I told you, it's been relayed. And now, if you listen to Power FM 93.3, Power FM is carrying this program. Prom FM 105.5 is also carrying this program. And the ABC Radio.
I ask that we be civil because nobody has monopoly over instability. If you can do it, just know that I can do it. Let's be nice to one another, but you curse my man, I will curse your man. You curse my pa, I will curse your pa. Ask me question, I am obligated to answer that question. And I promise you, I will answer it. If you are not satisfied with my answer, come again, I will give you clarification. But let's be civilized. So, you took George Weah made president because he took care of the national team. Because he took his own money and financed the national team. More than just a volunteer. I do the same thing. They say I come and go to LFA free. I took my wife's hotel and housed the Blue Star as president of Liberia Football Association. 4 years, the government of Liberia never gave me a dime. I committed the LFA to more than before me. Go check the record. On my own record. On my own record. Nobody has monopoly over ability. If you can do it, just know that I can do it. Let's be nice, but you curse my man, you curse my pa, I will curse your pa. Ask me question, I am obligated to answer that question. And I promise you, I will answer it. If I'm not satisfied with my answer, come again, I will give you clarification. But let's be civilized. So, you took George Weah made president because he took care of the national team. Because he took his own money and finance the national team. More than just a volunteer. I do the same thing. Then I come make free. LFA to more than go check the record. On my own record. On my own record. Nice to want my pa, I will curse your pa. Because I am obligated to answer questions. And I will, if you are not satisfied, I will give you, but let's be civilized. So, your George president. So, I took free. I took my wife's hotel and housed the Blue Star as president of Liberia Football Association. 4 years, the government of Liberia never gave me a dime. I committed the LFA to more than any president before me, and then the last 5 presidents before me. Go check the record. On my own record.
And Mr. Ability is spending more over the place, buying the consciences of people who are supposed to be conscionable. Then you know we are in trouble. But again, we're doing our best. The good thing is that we are informing the Liberian people about the potential danger that awaits the country if they make business with Mr. Ability. Our people should know that leopard doesn't change his spot. Our people should know that monkey doesn't leave a black hand behind. If a guy was corrupt yesterday, tomorrow he may not be a changed person.
So, Mr. Jackson, what do you envisage?
What I envisage is I envision a Liberty Party that will come together and make sure the pressure is mounted more than Mr. Ability step aside. I
Okay.
envision that if we do not do that, then Nigeria soon and very soon will be in a bigger trouble. Because even the CPP that Mr. Ability is associating with, they are also disappointing us because the CPP reject itself as a viable alternative to the CDC when the CPP is condoning or is cozying up to people who are new corrupt individuals. How can you serve as a viable alternative to CDC when you have inherently corrupt people in your midst that you do not want to weed out? The CPP itself is coming across as a disappointment and a letdown to the Liberian people. You cannot be comfortable with corrupt individuals and say you want to change Liberia. But the fact that you even have corrupt people playing a role in the CPP, it undermines the CPP own moral argument against the CDC. How will the CPP now take a moral high ground and say, oh, CDC people corrupt when you have somebody like Musa Ability?
Okay, good morning and welcome to the Morning Breeze and Radio 5.1. Today is Monday, the 27th day of March 2023. My name is Fidel Saydee, and it's great to be this morning and doing what we love to do best on a Monday morning like this. And folks, if you're on your way to town, I'd like to say welcome and take your own time, drivers, as you're coming in town this morning. As our people use the different routes to Monrovia, hope you drive safely. If you are going out of town, you have to drive safely. But welcome to the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And today is Monday. And of course, we are here to serve you breakfast this Monday morning on your radio. And you can also catch us on Radio King. There's a download Radio King, RADROKING, on your Apple Store or Play Store, and search for ABC Radio Official. You can also download. You can find us on Facebook. That is ABC Radio Official 105.1, and get to follow our programs this morning. All right, and that's how it is this morning on ABC Radio. There are lots of things to talk about as it is in our country right now, and so we'll be talking a lot of things this morning on the program. And uh, okay, my colleague Dennise has just joined in, and I hope I can get her through shortly. But of course, we'll be going across the country as always on our money's presentation. I'm getting echo. In our money's presentation, we'll be going across the country and to get you on this morning. Okay, and Monday, as usual, is full of tension, and that's why people say we like Monday. Yeah, that's why people normally say we don't like Monday, because the hustle and bustle begins on Monday. Yeah, that's how it is this morning on the program. But we be speaking, as you may well know, there was an incident that took place in District Number 10 over the weekend. On Friday and Saturday, we'll be speaking with the representative of District Number 10, Honorable Yeke Koluba, this morning, and I will also be speaking with the chairman of the Youth League of the Congress for Democratic Change, Emmanuel Johnson. We will speak with him this morning, and as well speak with the spokesman of the Liberia National Police, Moses Carter, this morning. So we go across the country. We give you our traffic alert, but let's start up with our motivational quote this morning. Our motivational quote this morning says, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. All right. So you will excel in whatever you are in with when you love exactly what you are doing, it means you will put in more effort, you will put in more time, you will dedicate your everything to making sure that what you love is done properly, and that's how you excel in what you love. Okay. And our African proverb says, let's go with what our old people have to say this morning. They says, um better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. It's better you do the right thing than to apologize for doing the wrong thing. It's good that you do the right thing than to apologize for doing the wrong thing. All right. So in all of your actions, make sure that whatever that you do is in the interest of people, not just around you, but humanity as a whole. So whether you serve in public position, you're in a private sector, you're in your community, make sure whatever you do is in the interest of those that you see every day, or those who in which you live. So that's this. Now traffic as usual. There are traffic spots across the country. Painesville, of course, expect traffic when you are coming towards town in the 540 area, just in the Congo Town area. And if you are approaching the Oro Junction, of course, you experience a bit of traffic at this road that has built up to that level, but it should be your anticipation. And if you are around the Carwell, and again, one of the big rocks that I've been talking about is on the road again. It has dropped right before the bridge again, and we are struggling to find out the company that is doing the transportation of those rocks. I think there is a need for safety measures. You cannot run trucks the way you do. All right, it is a kind of danger to those who use the road. Early this morning on my way to work again, I saw one of those big rocks on the bridge, and I am aware that these people are cognizant of the dropping of these rocks, because at the end of the day they are removed. It means they remove them, but they kind of care less to know the danger it poses to the public, especially those who come to town as early as 6 o'clock in the morning. Those big rocks are dropped right on the road, and it's because of the careless way they drive and the overloading of the trucks. That's why those rocks drop. So again, if you are coming from the Carwell end, please be careful. Before you approach the bridge, you will see the rock there. And if you're coming from Broadville, of course, there's a traffic alert to the beer factory area, bending towards Mumble Town. You will experience traffic as well as Douala. And if you're coming from Carwell, the Carwell Bridge, there's traffic there. And so be aware of that. If you're coming from Somalia Drive, also be aware that even though there's not much of traffic on the main route, but at the various junctions like Batnersville Junction, New Georgia Junction, be aware of the traffic there as well. Dennise Nimpson just joined in. She hit to let me say she just joined in. But good morning, Dennise.
Good morning, Fidel. I don't know where
How was your weekend?
Ah, my weekend, I had a very, very packed weekend, very busy weekend. I can say that the weekend wasn't something that, I could enjoy it and relax myself. Too many things during the week. So it was actually busy.
Well, I had a weekend. By the way, I need to display something to you right now. I don't know whether you got yours, but I got mine. I did my voter registration over the weekend. This is
Wow.
mine. So I'm ready, rough and ready to vote in the October 10 elections. I have my passport with me already. I mean, here is it. And I'm encouraging everyone to do theirs as well. Go to the there's one testimony I have from the voter registration center, Dennise, and is the fact that when you get to the center, you are allowed to get in a queue, which
Okay.
is good. And I know over the weekends, there's these various centers are normally packed, so it's obvious. But the machines that are used there, I don't know the level of sophistication,
Okay.
but I would like to recommend to the National Elections Commission that when the process of voter registration starts in the hinterland, each of the centers must be supplied with additional machine.
Okay.
Either the printer, 2 printers for per center, or 2 computers per center. What I've realized, and I visited other centers to do because of the experience I had at the first center, I've realized that most of these machines, I don't know, for whatever reason,
and that's
the
technology.
performance level,
Yes.
it's not too dependable. So in hard to reach places, my
Okay.
suggestion is that you double the printers to get them there,
Yes,
so that
yes.
when there's a breakdown, there will be
There'll
an
be alternative,
alternative.
yeah.
Other than that, the voter registration process will be delayed. People already in Central Town are already complaining that sometimes when these machines have these defaults, people are told to go home. And it's the same thing that happened at the first center I went at. I mean, people were told to go home because the machine could not work, and
Yeah.
it was not possible for them to change it or fix it at that point in time. So my recommendation, when you are sending people out of town in these hard to reach places, you double each center with a machine, so that we don't have a situation where people are not allowed to register. Remember,
Yeah.
now people will be moving from far distances to go to various centers.
Yeah.
When they come there, you don't want to turn them back. That is a
Exactly.
turn
Then
off.
that would be
Yeah,
so frustrating.
it'd be very
But did you
frustrating.
go at the center and say I'm Fidel, Saydee,
Oh,
or
of course,
journalist, so allow me?
I had to show my ID card. I did not have to go through all the hassle of going to getting online. So I just showed my ID card, and of course, I was given the courtesy.
Yeah.
And of course, there will be murmuring
There,
on the
there
line.
was a colleague who said
Mhm.
before she could go to the center,
Mhm.
she had to take along her camera
Mm.
or all of those gadgets
I
as
don't think-
journalists. And when she got there, they said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, allow the journalists to pass."
No, you just need to show your ID card. I think these network workers are very knowledgeable of our various roles in the society, and so they wouldn't have to place you through all those.
I pray to have the time, to go and do mine, because I think I will be one of those who will be the last to have that. I hope I will be able to get it. So
Why is that pessimism about? What is that pessimism about? You hope. You should have. You shouldn't be hoping.
I will go and get it. I will go there to do the registration by all means. I just have to do it as patriotic citizen. I have to do it. But
you have no choice. You have to do it. You just have to do
I'm
it.
also encouraging others to try my best to go at the center to do my registration.
And you know the best way to encourage others? The best way to encourage others is to display yours.
Yeah.
So I'm challenging you now. You should get registered before the weekend or during the weekend. Monday when we are here, I hope you have your voter registration.
Mine is all the way in District 6, so perhaps I will have a time off to do that.
Okay. All right. So, folks, welcome to the Morning Breeze this morning on ABC Radio 105.1 with me, Fidel Saydee, and Dennise Nimpson. And after it's not as long as we normally say long and made a weekend get holiday attached.
Yeah,
but that's not 2 missed call from one big person. But that's okay. I will handle him after the show.
You are the best this on a Monday morning.
Well,
hey.
The big person always have wise words. But let's go to Grand Bassa County as we go across the country. They played this morning, and so we'll try to be as quick as possible on our contacts. Let's get to Prince Yukonjile Wamplu in Grand Bassa County. We are told that for the third time, the local leaders of Grand Bassa County and the County Legislative Caucus have refused to they have boycotted. That is the word. They've boycotted the court meeting by the civil society organization in Grand Bassa County to attend some kind of sitting. But Prince Wamplu is in Grand Bassa County. Good morning, Prince, and welcome to the Morning Brew.
Good morning.
But this, what for?
Thank you. The civil society of Grand Bassa County, along with the Zona Council, organized a citizen meeting to engage the leaders of Grand Bassa County on account of an alleged information they are getting that our fundamental Liberia, the worship plan, the concentration plan, will be transferred from the Kenya as part of the old agreement, will now be sent to Nima County instead of they've been building Grand Bassa County that is in the framework of what Lanco presented at the time. So the citizens of Grand Bassa County, the civil society, wanted to know from the leaders, what are they doing? Is it true that information is coming out that the concentration plant will be built in Nima County rather than Grand Bassa as part of the first MDA agreement, the Mineral Development Agreement signed with Aslameta, that they were in the government of Liberia. They were very careful on how these things happen. They didn't want to jump to say the Bassa people are noted for violence. So they wanted to start, process by process, getting the lawmaker to know what is the cause of this, and then from there the citizen can get action. Yeah. So, but no member of the Bassa local leadership. We say local leadership is the county administration here in Bassa, and then the Bassa legislative caucus. They did not attend the program.
What could be the reason behind that boycott of the program?
Well, so at the end of the program, one of the lawmakers came, and then when he spoke to journalists, he was able to apologize and say to all that. One of the reasons why it was a low turnout from the local leaders, although he wasn't speaking for them, but in his mind said that, and his Honorable Thomas Goswa, Thomas Goswa, number 5, he said that the issue of the voter registration, they are lawmakers and local leaders in the country out there that from the start of the voter registration so far, they are low turnout. So therefore, most of the representatives and most of the local leaders have been either engaged in the various districts, encouraging people to register because getting around 300,000 person, to be registered in Grand Bassa County. So in his mindset, that was the reason, and he gets excuse for why Senator Loma is not here. She's in the United States of America, and but the rest of the leaders here are basically engaged. But and Fidel, here's the reason why they're disappointed. They are saying that the reason why the local leaders and that of the representatives are focusing on the voter registration process awareness now, because it's where the interest lies, and they want to get re-elected, they want to support Kennedy to get re-elected, so they're focusing on that. But the issue as it relates to us, Liberia, and that of the citizens of Grand Bassa County as it relates to the Mineral Development Agreement is not fully complete. And then Metalsty has not funded it, and the government Liberia has not signed the final the second MDA yet. So it means that the first one into play is what definitely should be looked at. Not the new one that is in discussion.
Okay.
So that was the point. Yeah.
So what's the reaction? What's the reaction of the civil society organizations?
Now, so what is this? Part of conclusion, they need that along with the Zona Council of Grand Bassa County that they should reschedule another meeting, and then for April 16, and this is going to be the final meeting. At the end of this meeting, whatever the lawmakers of Bassa local leaders here to turn out, they are not going to stage a protest action to show to the people of Liberia that yes, the Grand Bassa County is ready for the process.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much, and it's nice having you. We look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
Okay, Peter. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you very much. It's Yukonde Wamblu. A meeting was convened by the Civil Society Council of Grand Bassa County, and the meeting was boycotted by local leaders, including the county legislative caucus. But they've apologized for their absence, and they attributed that to their involvement with the voter awareness campaign going on across the county. But they've staged another meeting for April 16 in the county with the hope that all the lawmakers that is will be available for the meeting. Let's now go to Patrick Menza in Maryland County, where it is reported that a man 32 has attempted to commit suicide because his wife denied him sex and food. Let's get Patrick Menza now in Maryland County, Harper. How is Harper City this morning, Patrick?
Well, Harper is good this morning, and my pleasure being on this platform to speak to the people who are following this wonderful platform this morning.
Now, give us the identity of this man and explain in detail what may have triggered this action that he attemptedly wanted to have undertaken.
Well, this wonderful situation, I think yesterday, left several residents in Harper City shock on the ground. That the reason for which he wanted to commit suicide is just a minor thing that anyone could just knows and let it be. His name is one Roosevelt Sakpa resides in Harper City. Following the incident, family sources narrated to a couple of journalists that visited the scene, and it was said to us that the situation came up when his wife denied him of giving him food, giving him his heart desire at night, on ground that she said the guy is not a working man who can provide. She is the one that doing all the activity in the homes, providing money, providing food. And she can be feeding him in the night and also be feeding him with some food. So based on that, this guy, over the time, according to him, he has been confused when the situation occurred between him and his woman. So what he said was to commit suicide and just let this woman be so that she can be embarrassing on a daily basis.
Now, how was this plane aborted?
Well, according to information from family sources, he was doing the act was done in his bar room in the house in Harper, and his older daughter, who is age 24, who gone to take bath, was the one that discovered that her father, this Mr. Roosevelt Sakpa, was trying to commit suicide, and she shouted, and people from the homes in the other community came around, and the police also called to the scene, and there were these family sources narrated the information that over the time when the guy leave the house, because he's not a working man, the guy's not working anywhere to earn, so when he leave the house, when he come back home, the woman will always deny him of food on the basis that she will say the guy's not working. So it has been a long time situation according to the family sources. Even he himself narrated this information to the Liberia National Police. So he decided to just let the woman be, because on a daily basis, anytime he want to do some marital affair with his wife, she would deny him in the bed and also deny him food on the ground that the guy is not a working man to bring food money in the house.
So what has been the wife's reaction?
Well, when police during police investigation, when the police asked the woman denying the allegations on ground that she said at no time she had denied her husband that marital affair or issues in the house. So the husband just decided to commit such a suicide. She and him been living together for a couple of years. Even they had several children. So why would she deny him when they had almost 4 to 5 children in the home? But according to her, the reason behind that situation yet to be explained by her husband. But when it comes to sexual which she want to commit suicide, she has not denied her husband anywhere before.
Okay, thank you so much, Patrick Menza.
But let me also say this situation of people wanting to kill themselves is not the first time. In recent time, two person did similar thing, and they are resulted to death. One G. Rosoka Miller, he was a resident of Nukutown on the 4th of June 2022. He committed suicide on ground that he caught his wife having some marital affair with another guy. And one Mr. Dwyer also in the same June of 2022 did similar thing. He drank custard water for being frustrated by his wife. He said several times when he wanted to have some marital affair with his wife, she would deny him. A similar thing for which this guy allegedly wanted to kill himself. So these things are not a screen news in Maryland County, and many of the people, the civil society organizations and other residents have been consulting people to report these kind of cases to counselors so that they can counsel them, because marital affair is a worrisome thing, and committing suicide just because of this kind of minor thing, it requires a lot of counseling. So they have been calling on people in such category to desist and look for counselor to counsel them concerning this kind of matter.
Okay, thank you so much, Patrick Menza, and we hope that the woman comes forth this time around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Okay, he's Patrick Menza, our man there in Maryland County, reporting this morning that a man 32 has reportedly attempted suicide because his wife refused to give him food and food. We hope.
I like that food and food.
I mean.
The physical food and what?
So why women like to use that as a weapon? I mean,
Yeah, that's the only way you can have your way around.
And no women rapping in nothing, right? Okay, but thankfully the guys came through and he did not commit suicide as planned, and he was rescued. And I hope that situation can be salvaged so that the act is not repeated again. Let's now run to Nimba County, where our man Joseph Kekula is, and we told senatorial aspirant Yan Twine has called for unity amongst the people of Nimba County as they move to elections. And so Joseph Kekula is there in Nimba County. He's currently on the line. Joseph, good morning and welcome to the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio.
Good morning to the people of Liberia via ABC Radio this morning.
Now tell us, what is this report of senatorial Yan Twine calling for unity amongst the people of Nimba? Has there been a semblance of division?
According to Yan Twine, there have been division among citizens leading. This division has come especially with the legislative caucus who have been involved in the conflict of recent. He mentioned the county sitting that took place almost 2 years now. It has not been resolved, even though the county PMC is working. Where at the county sitting, there were caucus members who were divided into decision making when it comes to the election of the caucus or the PMC members, and that has been in court, even though the court hasn't made any decision yet. But the PMC is yet working, and Yan Twine feels that, according to Yan Twine, the issue of religious tolerance has been issue that Liberians have been fighting to see that Nimbayans are also being involved in the tribalism leading to division, where in terms of election you see citizens are taking side based on track and which he feels in his election, if he wins this senatorial election comes October, in the first 6 months he will embark on the unity among Nimbayans as a senator. It feels that the past leaders or present leaders have now worked more in uniting the county. They've used the county with division and to make them stay in power, but he feels that his leadership and working in the caucus will help Nimba to unite. But this is something that many of us have heard over the past years. In 2021, Senator Jeremiah Kuhn launched the Nimba Unity Campaign, which was being bought by the Nimbayans, and they led him to be elected. But many persons feel that the candidates or the aspirants will come with this statement, and at the end, when they get elected, their promise is met. And so people are still judging Yan Twine's statement, and they feel that Yan Twine might be saying this because of the politics. But Yan Twine has committed that in the first 6 months of leadership, he will make sure that Nimba gets united, and that's why during his process of election, the people of district number 5 in Buyao were able to petition him. They were the first to have petitioned him. He said that was a means of uniting the county because people feel that there is a tribal link between the Mano and the Gio, especially where he feels that they are the two major tribes in Nimba. But he tried to dispel that, and he feels that having a son from the Mano tribe or Mano language being petitioned in the Dan language area, it shows that Nimbayans are understanding, but Nimbayans only need that leadership or that leader to help guide them to uniting the county. There is division in the county.
So, from your interaction with the citizens there, why do you think is the hold on to having this unity or gathering?
What really the problem is that the leaders in the county have not been able to foster that, to see a mission, especially where many of them, in fact, all of them are even divided in the caucus. And so that supporters of those lawmakers will take side with them. And so at the end of the day, decision making for the county, or either having a gathering when these lawmakers are not speaking to issues, you find out that it makes the decision difficult, even at the elder level. You find out those are taking sides. So in terms of certain decision, it becomes difficult. We've had problem in Limba with our leaders that for the county you will in the process help they cannot resort to what the country want to see, especially bringing from the county setting where you find out that decisions are made, but the developer becomes difficult for the county. At the end of the day, the wrong decision has been made. So the caucus, the leadership of the county has not been able to foster that unity. They have not called for any unity conference. They have not made any effort to unite the citizens in this place.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kekula.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We have to let you go, Joseph. Thank you so much for that report, Joseph. Senator Espian has called the need for unity amongst. He believes that count Dennise that morning. Let's get this.
The weather condition is good, just that no, it rain. It is very cool.
Cool, yeah. You feel like you're in Europe now, right?
Yeah, sure. It's very cool.
Now, what's this news about drop out of students in Grand Crew County? Who's reporting this data?
Well, so the officer, Gabriel Jobo, has a lamp over the drop out of students during the council meeting called by the superintendent at the Barclayville City Hall.
Okay, what are the reasons given for this drop out, and what is the percentage of students that have dropped out of school?
You know, if you look in Grand Crew today, you understand that most of the young people have begun moving to the very mining sectors in the county, the very mining sector, wherein other people will go to Tibu, others will go to Bauchi, the lack of some of them, the very mining sectors, mining goals, and they have forgotten about education, and in fact some of them are on the street taking in harmful substances that result them into stealing and all of that. And he also said that some of the parents, you know, for the school system of Grand Crew, we lack qualified teachers, wherein some of our teachers are from high schools volunteering and they have not been paid. So for this, most of them have decided not to waste their energy, you know, sitting in classroom because they are not being compensated. With that, the numbers of teachers at the various high schools in Grand Crew County have reduced. So looking at that, other students have decided not to even continue their education at the various schools, but to leave Grand Crew County and go to other areas, other countries where in the think they can have a good learning environment. With this, he pointed out that the numbers for poor students at the school in Grand Crew currently now are 11,337, and the number of girls are 10,084, resulting to the total number of 21,121.
Wow, that's a huge number. Now, Frederick, what kind of impact does this have on the educational sector in Grand Crew County?
Well, it had just as challenges. It is very much challenges that students in Grand Crew County will lack qualified teachers, wherein other parents will be taking their children from Grand Crew and take them to other counties to get better education, especially when the numbers of qualified teachers in Grand Coulee are lower. Like for those who have the BSCs and all of that, they are less than 10. They are less than 10. So those of the teachers have been working very hard are volunteering teachers, and those volunteering teachers have not been compensated. In fact, they are not been placed on government payroll. So what do you expect if a voluntary teachers compensated and placed on government payroll? Do you expect them to continue rendering their services why they have not been paid? Those people have their families at their burial homes, and they found that as means that they will be able to be compensated and support their family. So they take pleasure that once they are not being compensated, they move to other areas where to family and themselves.
Thank you so much, Frederick Kuman there in Grand Coulee County. It was nice having you on the program this morning, Frederick.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay, Fred Kuman run quickly to Lofa County. That their superintendent gone missing. I don't know where he went. They can see their superintendent, and so yeah, the citizens are worried that their superintendent is at large. Let's get to Lofa County and speak with Samuel Bolle. Samuel Bolle is in Lofa County. Let's find out exactly what we are getting. Samuel Bolle, I don't know whether you can get some of our comments, recognize some of our viewers this morning, Dennise. Let's hear from them. But our man Samuel Bolle is on the line, so let's run to Samuel quickly this morning. Good morning. Where is your superintendent?
Yeah, good morning. Let me say good morning to our entire listeners. Lofa is okay this morning. Last night we received a heavy downpour of rain in Lofa County.
What is this news about your superintendent not seen for a couple of weeks now, and the citizens are worried? Tell us more.
Yeah, seriously, the citizens continue to raise the alarm when it comes to the absence of the county superintendent over 2 months now, where the various intellectual forum, the various radio station have now discussing the absence of the county superintendent. And as a media personnel, we try to have some independent investigation for our effort to get to the county superintendent and the nation capture everything in the food place. And citizens are catalyzing some of the absence of the county superintendent, other than some of them are saying maybe recently the president announces that those that will be intending to contest should resign. Maybe the county superintendent may likely want to contest. He is running after the issue. Otherwise, if I have the strike.
But Samuel, quickly, how long has he been absent from the county?
1 more plus now. He has been out of the county. 1 more plus, and others are saying because recently he wrote to the Lofa Legislative Caucus to see how they could sign on the county social development fund for the money that was intended for the Yellow Machine to be advanced to the Gara constructed fan during the county meet on the county fee. They are saying, well, the city said the idea is not good. Some of them are saying it's because of the tension while making the county superintendent to be in Morovia. But others are really raising concern what he had to leave the county with no information coming back to his people in the county, and the pledges requires all of us are getting to go for the second phase of the registration and also the election period. You need to be in the county to encourage people to remain peaceful, to encourage people to see how they can turn out when it comes to registration aspect. But leaving the county over 2 months now, it is serious concern for the citizens.
Now, what impact does it have on the day-to-day running, administrative running of the county? Is the development superintendent present?
Well, postal heavy concern again. There's a margin when it comes to the civil servant. Anytime they want to have discussion, either the county superintendent or county development superintendent, but sometimes both of them will be absent. For example, if the county development superintendent is called in FOIA to represent the county superintendent, they mean a Vonjaman district will remain a single now. They mean the administrative building will not be functional because the county development superintendent would be absent that day. They are saying, well, he was appointed in Lofa County. It's not Morovia to see how he can base in Morovia. If he is going Morovia to easy May 2 or 3 months, there should be a communication to the citizens to be in the know-how. But just leave it then like this, it is not really fair. Citizens are not, some of them are not even having a fear that, well, maybe some of those people that want to resign in the top government official position, maybe he is
rubbing around to see how he can be appointed in some of those positions. Others are saying, well, he deemed it necessary to just base in Morovia.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Samuel Bolle there in Lofa County. It was a pleasure having you on the Morning Breeze this morning.
Okay, thank you, and I'm always available.
Thank you, Samuel there in
Lofa
County. Yeah, I mean, the people can see that superintendent. They say, "Oh, one more now they can see the man."
Oh.
Dennise, what happening? One more they can see the man. I mean, well, it's a concern about the way it is a big concern for the people of Lofa. I don't know whether he's anticipating running, and so he has come to town.
Perhaps they should check with the local authorities. And, there will be answer to why the superintendent, is absent from the county.
Well, that does it for our rounds across the country, and but we have to take our last man, Walcott Kerry there in
Magibie
County. Walcott Kerry. Let's go to Walcott Kerry, the ABC radio correspondent in Magibie County. Walcott Kerry is our man in Magibie County. The law enforcement agency has also gone on a raid in Magibie County. Walcott Kerry is our man in Kakata City. Good morning, Walcott Kerry. How are the Magibians and the Kakatonians?
Well, all of them are very, very peaceful in the sense that they are busy going about their different occupations. The marketers have gone to market, and the students are rushing to the different schools together with the teachers, at least to push forward the development in this country. But deeply, they are worried because of the way the voter registration process, the trucking, has overtaken the voter registration process in Magibie County.
Wow.
So Magibians and Kakatonians are passing with deep worry and with fear. They said the elections will not be credible, and there are suspected violence cases to occur in the electioneering process.
You are our eye in Magibie County. Who are those candidates that that you have that degree of suspicion about involved into trucking?
All the candidates, the incumbent representatives in Magibie County 5 political districts are involved into it. Even the would-be aspirants that are vying for the various positions to unseat the incumbent and to clinch the executive and senate seats are also involved into the trucking, the voter trucking, beginning from Magibie County District Number 1, Taparuza, Tapere, also involved into District Number 2, Iva Kokolo Jones. You come to District Number 3, Honorable Ellen Amaka Atore, reporting in also that she's involved into District Number 4, is also involved into notwithstanding District Number 5 in the Wheeler end, are also involved into the voter trucking process. And it has become very alarming because according to a research conducted, they said it is not enshrined into our law, into our constitution about the voter truck. So for this reason, nothing has been done with regards if they catch anyone trucking people from one end to another, at least to go vote or register to vote. So this has become very alarming at a very rampant rate now in Magibie County.
Now let's go quickly to the LDA rate. There's no time in our favor. What may have led to this decision of the LDA to carry on a raid in Kakata?
As a result of the newly transferred commander, Colonel Amos Yomi, he was here, but as duty could call, they transfer him to another county in Riverside. The Director General of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Marcus Zawi, in his professional wisdom, thought it wise to bring such a proactive man in the name of Colonel Amos Mentor Yomi to take up the mantle of responsibility as commander. And as a result of his being in the county, he has been doing all of the search and raid
and over the weekend, huge quantity of young Liberians, even Nigerian national that are involved into these drug issues, both sellers and even drug users, were apprehended. And as a result, he said he is not leaving any stone unturned, and he wants to see Magibi County as a drug county comparing to other counties in Liberia. And these drug issues is a concern to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency because it is destroying the fabric of the younger generations in the county. So as a result, I made a raid, and they are deeply challenged in terms of vehicle, but notwithstanding, they are moving on with their job, and they're on top of the situation in Magibi County.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. It was nice having you on the program this morning.
Thank you so much, and thank you to our valued listeners listening to this finest frequency dial. I remain Wakot Kiri in Magibi County.
Wakot Kiri, the Kakatonians, the Magibians. It was nice going to country this morning. We have an idea of what teeny different parts of Liberia. Yeah. So let's go strictly to our first talking point this morning, Dennise.
Yeah.
With no waste. What is important to be said this morning is that we detest violence to any level, regardless of who's involved, the reason for the act, whichever way. On Friday of last week, we began seeing images of what was happening in District Number 10, Montserrat County, specifically in O Road.
Yeah.
The Oro Inn, right?
Yeah.
And we do not have the full details. I don't know if Dennise has, but I don't have the full detail of what transpired. Dennise, if you have any detailed explanation of what happened, you could share with us.
Go ahead.
No, I don't know. I don't have details, so that's what I'm asking you.
So
what did you hear?
So really, for what I gathered when I visited the area in District 10, specifically the Old Road, and according to bystanders and dwellers from the area, when on Saturday, because like you said, we've gathered on Friday, there was some disturbances within the Old Road Belt as it relates to people believed to be supporters of CDC and also, Representative Yeke Koruba. So on Saturday, within our area, I have my church and we went for church activities. And when we were there, we saw that we heard people running, and there was tear gas, into dispersing those who have gathered. So I left and I went out to, do my normal reportorial duty. And I was informed that some individual who decided to come into the community to cause chaos around the area. So the youth of that area were gathered at the Gaytown intersection, and to ensure that those who are disturbing their community. I spoke to some of the youth there, asked what is happening here, and they said some new guys came, they had colitis last night, they attacked us, and we are out now to protect our area, and if anyone come, we will deal with them, we will do this, we'll do that. But prior to that, we saw on a local media, and that was, I think, front page that was going live. We saw that the youth league of the CDC on Saturday was seen in the district. I think they said the chairman or whosoever went to register in the district, and that brought altercation between supporters of the other side, like I said. So the other group who were at the national identification area, they had unknown guys there who blocked the area and were preventing people, movement and what have you, when the police came to disperse them with tear gas. And that was some of the things I gathered there. So as it relates to what really happened, there will be mixed reaction from people. Some will say, oh, CDC supporters came to attack Representative, I think, Yeke Koluba, or CDC brought in, how you call this, people on the old road to register for Josephine Davis and Yeke Koruba. They said Yeke Koruba also brought in people to register in the district. So it has been mixed reaction from here there. So the actual story, what really, caused the uproar in the district cannot be, explained. But when you listen to other sides, they will tell you this happened and that happened. But what we saw on Saturday, we saw CDC youth league marching, within the district, and that was some confusion around there where stores and everything were closed. On Saturday, people could not go on with their normal activities on the old road. I was there. I saw all the stores were closed, market was shut down, and the place was just like, some war zone that people were afraid to, come outside to carry on their normal activities.
That's bad. The first thing, like I said, we detest violence in all its forms.
Yeah.
What we are about to go through in our country is a very pivotal movement.
Yeah.
And expect anyone to ferment violence, to cause chaos, or to provoke people into violence.
Sure.
And like we said, because we do not have hard facts to what may have transpired, it is difficult for us to clearly state this side is wrong or that side is wrong.
Yeah.
But what I can say as much is that we do not need a group of people to form to go into a district to register, Dennise.
Yeah.
You just need you as a single individual to walk into district and register.
Sure.
You, Dennise, can walk there, peacefully and get registered. There's nothing wrong with it. But you see, because you should always be aware of this. Yeke Koruba is what I would consider I'm trying to be very careful, but there's a way our literature teacher used to describe it: a pain in the ass for the government. He has been very critical of the actions of government, and it is the district that he represents. It is clear that the Congress, the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, wants to dislodge Honorable Yeke Koruba. And so there will be a trooping of people within his that will ensure that Yeke Koruba is not re-elected. Yeah. All right. So there is that hype about it. So that is the first thing the CDC should have considered. Now, to have formed what appeared to me, because I saw the pictures, graphic pictures, the intention may not be bad, but the form in which it was done may appear more or like a military style.
Yeah.
And for Yeke to be where he is, his reaction would have been obvious. All right. So that led to what many Liberians saw as the instigation of violence. Yeah. I am not saying seditions did not have the right to go and register in District 10. It is your right. All right. It is their right to register wherever they want to. But I am saying to you that to have gone in that form and manner, it is a form of provocation, especially chanting battle cries and what have you, like what we saw. And in fact, that led to the intervention of the police, the way she did.
Yeah.
And I am saying that we cannot allow anything that appears like provocation to take place in our country. We can't allow that. What we've reached as a country now, it is time for us to nurture what we call democracy. We are still in a fragile state, Dennise. Let nobody deceive you. We are still in a fragile state. And the state of our country requires nurturing. And let a baby get born, you got to take care to bring the baby, or sometimes you're holding the baby, you have to hold the baby gently for the ribs not to break and what have you. That is how our peace is. So any action that appears like provocation should be discouraged. So as a duty, as those who sit behind these microphones, we have a duty to the society.
Exactly.
And so we will hear from Honorable Yeke Koruba, we hear from the CDC folks, and then hear from the Liberia National Police what they've gathered so far.
And before they are on the line,
no, go ahead.
Before what you rightly said, it is about time that the CDC Youth League and partisan of the CDC begin to realize that the CDC is in power. It is the CDC that is leading. The CDC is now, is in charge. So the CDC cannot be proceeding as an opposition.
Yeah.
Because if you are in opposition, you are more critical, you are on the offensive at each time, to ensure that your plights are called across, to ensure that your concern and people, take serious what you are saying. They are now in government. Gone are those days when the Coalition for Democratic Change, was in the opposition, and they were, tough, they were firebrand because they needed the attention of authority.
Exactly.
Now you are in the you have to ensure that you lead and follow. If you in what we saw on Saturday, we have voter registration exercise, and you have the league chairman, gather his guys and marching through the streets of Old Road. That alone send a different picture to the district, or perhaps this representative that is, quote unquote, aggressive against your leader. So it sends a different picture. You don't want to be seen always in the position as instigating violence.
Exactly.
Though we have seen that we are saying that we have not gathered what really went wrong in terms of all of that. But some of those things, people will always point accusing fingers at you, that the CDC is in the wrong. The CDC is. It is time that those who are the leaders within the Coalition for Democratic Change begin to, call their partisans, begin to call those who are in charge, like the Youth League, telling them that this is not the way we should go, because we are in the driving seat. We should lead, and others should follow.
Exactly.
We cannot be the one, each time causing this situation, and then others will come to counter, which is not in the rightful direction. It is about time now. They say you play fool to gain wisdom, right? This is what the CDC should be doing at this time, because you are seeking re-election. You don't want to be seeking re-election, and every time the people, we hear that, this situation is being caused by the Coalition for Democratic Change. No, you have to be the leader. You have to be the driver, to dress back and, all relax and see others who will come and cause the confusion, and then you can see how best you can mitigate that, how best you can solve that. But it is time now that they realize that they are no longer opposition. They are the one driving the affairs or steering the affairs of the country. So whatsoever they do, people will always look at them to be, if a little thing is done and it goes wrong, it will be the CDC is proceeding wrong. So it's about time now, they actually get the facts and know that, yes, we are leading. There's no need that we be on the offensive every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it right there. And again, we are saying this because to whom much is given, much is expected.
Sure.
You are the ruling party now. You are the one in charge.
Yeah.
Your action should not resemble that of someone who's in opposition, like Dennise rightly stated. Because at this stage, you are seen as the governance of the state. And I know the time for politics will come in, and your everything will come in, but this is the time that you have to operate like the governing party. Honorable Yeke Koluba is currently on the line, the representative of District Number 10, Montserrat County. Good morning, Honorable Koluba, and welcome to ABC Breeze.
What are you doing?
We okay.
We're doing okay, General.
Yeah.
We are interested in knowing exactly what went on in 10. A lot they wanted District 10 for.
No, they can't make it. They're wasting their time. They're wasting it. They need to find different districts, because what they're doing here is how they only representative with them will win when they're talking everybody in District Number 10. You can't defeat me in District Number 10. Not possible, and it will not be possible. So I don't know from where they carry on their attitude. Thank God the international community is in the know that I've been harassed. The fact that the American embassy can put on red line for District Number 10, calling on a citizen not to come into District Number 10, that means I'm being harassed. So this is a clear indication.
Does it mean that you are being harassed, or you people had some uproar in the district? That's why they were, cautioning their people not to go near that area.
Nobody, people know what's going on. They got their people here every day. The American embassy is concentrated in District Number 10 because of the attitude of this government. So they got their people here, and they know that I'm being harassed.
So, Honorable Yeke Koluba.
So we appreciate them for the statement. We appreciate them for the acknowledgement to acknowledge that District Number 10 is on the red zone. I think it's wrong. You can be government. You be harassing your own citizen. no responsible government can do that. You in power, you think to opposition. In your own government, I think it's wrong.
So,
I've written the American embassy, the American government through the embassy. I've written the EU, ECOWAS, everybody telling them on the situation. My life is at stake. It's on a threat by this government. The constant harassment, four days in a row. I'm being harassed by the people.
Honorable Koluba, we are very interested in exactly what transpired on Friday and Saturday. What went wrong?
Well, for me, I'm still trying to observe. To know what is wrong. To have people being terrorized in my district, for no reason. I'm still trying to understand what's the motive. You understand? I'm still trying to understand what's the motive in harassing my people. Because if you need me, come for me. They know my house. I'm all around. This morning I ride all around my district alone. So if you need me, you come for me. Don't harass the peaceful citizen.
It is reported. It is reported that seditionists have gone into district number 10 in their droves to get registered, and they received attacks from the men.
No, man, the police were here, man, and they were going loud. So their own something that is loud is what the people look at to judge. To make their judgment. Who are attacked by who? The poor king, man, they attacked the police, started throwing stones at the police, and they were arrested. And one or two instructed that anybody that would break the peace in district Martin should be arrested. And people were arrested, were released by the director of police.
So
on the instruction of the president.
Okay, Representative Koluba, I want to know, how will people who have gone to register just start to throw stones at other police?
You said what?
You said they came and they attacked the police. I'm asking what led to that. They just decided to start throwing stones?
No, the people said they came to register. It is a right to register anywhere they want to register. But you coming to register, you're causing chaos in the district. Got car license, they got a gun. I don't think that registration they came to do. The people said they will get rid of him at all costs. And I dare them.
Are you
said they will get rid of him at all costs, and I dare them.
Are you worried?
For them.
Are you worried that these attacks continue to intensify on your person?
I'm not worried. I'm worried for my people because I know I will die. I'm never that person. Anywhere the monkey die at home. So let them stop harassing the people and come for me. It'll be okay. Just come for me one time. Just grab me. Then your problem solved. If that will solve your problem, come for me. I'm on my brigade base right now. Come. I'm waiting for them. They say they come here again today. I'm waiting for them. Look, too much is too much. Enough is enough. We have reached a point where I know that the problem get rid of me. In the process, if I manage by getting any of those arms from them, I will not disarm to anybody. We will take those arms to join our house.
Now, Honorable Koluba, now as we move to elections and with all these news of incidents of violence across Liberia, what hopes have you for the elections?
No, we need independent body. We need independent people to come in, because what we're seeing right now, they want small. Any of my political leader is attacked by the seditionists. I will attack their political leader. Yes. With anything, it could be with gun, it could be with anything. When they attack any of my political leader, I will attack their political leader, because their political leader is aspiring. And he's going to be, he is the former president of this country. Because October 10, he will be booted out. And that is what we want to do. Go through the party bars. Do not attack people. And let's say people can fight. Let's say people can fight in your mouth. Don't fight with stones. Don't fight with guns. But they are very lazy. Any of my political being attacked by the seditionists, their political leader will be attacked by us.
Have you at any time been called in by the police to aid with the investigation?
But they got police in the country. The police that here and my people being brutal, they get police. They got Palestinian police, headed by the Justice Minister and Patrick Sulu. Patrick Sulu take instruction from Jefferson Koji and the president.
How authentic is that information?
102 said arrest him, but I'll break the peace. The director of police said nobody should take instruction from 102. They should take instruction from him because he's listening to Jefferson Koji and the president of this country. Look, if we're not very mindful, the country will go back to the war days. If we are not very mindful,
something that we are not hoping for. Representative Yeka Koluba talking about that. You being in terms of offering peace. There are others who are concerned that why don't you, I forget about those who have come to attack you and allow peace to reign instead of, counter attack.
I'm not attacking. Oh, you want me to sit down so they can say, Fidel, y'all can say, let go extend sympathy to Honorable Kolba. Well, no, we'll go to Cloud. We have to go extend sympathy to her. Yes.
Don't you think that's strong?
We'll go to Cloud. We are nothing, not even strong. I'm not saying nothing yet. It's not even strong. Oh, I'm going to say that somebody can kill me. Then you and my brother Fidel, and you can say, oh, Mrs. Kolba, we came to tell you how my sympathy. No, we will go to Cloud. We are in town. We have to tell and say, you have our sympathy.
Okay, Honorable Kolba, any other thing you want to say before we take leave of you?
We are calling on our generals, our female generals, our female mothers, our general mothers, our general fathers to move in district number 10 and get a voter registration card so we can put these people out. George Weah is a one-time president, and he is a former president right now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Koluba.
Thank you. I appreciate the call.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. He's district number 10 representative, Honorable Yeka Koluba. By the way, his last words, this station take no responsibility for what he said in his closing statement. We know that George Weah is the current president of the Republic of Liberia till January of next year. We need to make a disclaimer here for it. Yeah. So let's see whether we can get the youth league chair of the Coalition for Democratic Change. She's currently in Grand Cape Mount County on a voter awareness campaign in Grand Cape Mount County, and we hope we can get him, Emmanuel Johnson. And we want to get both sides of the story and then get from the police what exactly is happening. And then we'll open the phone lines on 0777 105 100, 0777 105 100, and 0555
105 100. We with you with the 0777 because we have late technical issues with the 0555.
Okay, but let's see whether we can get Emmanuel Johnson. He's on the line, not with me, but with someone else. He's a busy man, by the way, so you expect this to happen. But again,
youth league chairman.
But like we've said, we're not even opening the line and I start ringing. Like we've said, we still got problem with violence. It should not be permitted anywhere in Liberia.
Yeah.
And we should condemn violence. So what we are trying to get in mind, you can read some of our comments, Dennise. Let's know what our people are saying.
And the issue about this violence, I tell you for a fact, my church is on the old road of Fidel, and on yesterday, Sunday, it was kind of difficult to see people commuting from that area because there are a lot of people who wasn't to go there.
Okay. Emmanuel Johnson is the chairman of the Youth League of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Emmanuel, good morning. It's great to have you on the program this morning.
Well, good morning, Fidel. Thanks for having me. Good morning to the young people of Liberia. It's a pleasure being here.
How's the voters awareness going so far in Grand Cape Mount?
Well, it's good. The young people are in gear. They are excited about the fact that we are leading the charge to a one-round victory. So we are encouraging them from their different towns to be able to engage the centers and to register for the upcoming elections in October. One of the major constraints, specifically in electoral district number 2, that is in King George, there's only a single single registration center, and that area is densely populated. So we're looking to at least officially write National Election Commission, bringing to their attention the population in that environment and the fact that there is only one registration center there. So young people are still excited. They are still moving towards the other areas to ensure the registration vote because they have received the mandate that we must win these elections on the first ballot.
Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you continue your work there in Grand Cape Mount. Now let's move to event. Your men, you and your men were tear gassed by the Liberia National Police. Give a play description of what transpired in District 10 on Saturday.
So just before Saturday, on Monday, was the official time the National Election Commission launched the voter registration process. So on that first day of the launch by the National Election Commission, the Youth League was seen in District Number 7, Electoral District Number 7, mobilizing her structures in Electoral District Number 7 to ensure that young people are the first to occupy the centers to be able to register, which is fundamentally their constitutional rights. And just District Number 14 went to District Number 17 was 16 went to District Number 15. So like the regular exercise, District Number 14, it was late. We could not have gone to District Number 14 because the registration center opens early and then close in the evening time. So we completed our cycles very late. So on Saturday was set for District Number they saw for District Number 10 Saturday. This on Saturday was set for District Number 10, and then on Sunday we were to arrange ourselves in activities to ensure that we engage the young people in Grand Cayman here in Grand Cayman County. So yes, we mobilize the structure as usual. Like the first day, we mobilize the structures of the young people in District Number 10. You know, obviously the party headquarters is in District 10. So these young people came. For me at the party's headquarters, and then we work with our expression, register to vote. We work the district in the community. On our way to the center, and the police, which I think, again, people kept asking, oh, why are you going to District Number 10 to register? I'm not going to District Number 10 to register. I ordinarily reside in Electoral District Number 10. I live on the old zone Geta.
Okay.
So for somebody to say, the chairman of the Youth League is carrying like Honorable Kolba accused the Youth League of carrying 3,000 people go and register. No. This pause that is misleading, that has no sense of reality. I think Honorable Kolba, his fear is that he's not going to win the election. That's why he's coming up with all of these scare tactics and coming up with violent outbursts. So the young people went in Electoral District Number 10. We work and the police, and this is the point of Fidel, and I want to challenge the police director on this one, and challenge those who are operating. And the point here, 112. 112 is an agent provocateur in the police. 112 is not working by the instructions of the police boss, Patrick Sulu. 112 is working by the instructions of Honorable Kolba, which is sad. It's extremely sad because Honorable Kolba was the head of SOD, and SOD and I call it 112 of Godfrey. Godfrey was a member of SOD. In fact, he was the deputy to Honorable Kolba. So he still holds the loyalty. These are the kind of people we have in the police, which is very bad. I don't know, to some extent, the ethics of the police must be held at high esteem, protect life and property in every citizen, not special citizen, every citizen. So we went to District Number 10 to register. We saw 112 giving instruction, 112 holding AK-47 as though we were in time of war. The Youth League has been preaching peace from the foundation of our elections. We have been engaging young people into peaceful engagement, peaceful activity. Peace and social has been the order of the day. We have written to the National Election Commission, recording violence activities by the opposition. The Youth League have taken the lead on that. If you check with the U.S. Embassy, they have almost 3 different communication for us. If you check with the European Union, international partners, including development partners, have communication for us, recording opposition leaders on the issue of violence. So we will not and never be involved into violence. So Honorable Kolba instructed, that's the point, that's the challenge point. On Friday, because we went there on Saturday, on Friday, we have heard that there was a violent situation on Friday that disrupted people's normal businesses, looted people's businesses. You know, our parents in the market looted their It's an instruction. The police arrested 7 individuals, massacres in him. And those 7 individuals were being released under the instruction of the Yaga Komba in connection with one poor girlfriend. And I challenge to deny this information. Honorable Komba feared that those people, those 7 people, were killers hired by him, and the police arrested them. And on 112 instructed investigator to release those 7 people who were arrested by the police. I think it's uncivilized. I think it's unbecoming. That should not be the regular way, or that should not be the regular routine.
Okay,
the police must ensure that people, when people are caught in violent situation, they must be investigated. If they found culpable, they should get the full weight of the law. But SOD take over the police. It's uncivilized.
Okay, what does this mean coming from you as, you know, a ranking official of the ruling establishment to, you know, brand this a police officer as such? And I'd like to know, what was the essence of you gathering men, you know, because you are going to register, and they were marching to the streets of Oro?
So first of all, I'm not branding 102, not 102. I'm branding 112. Godfrey, I'm not branding him. Everyone knows that Godfrey was a member of SOD, the belligerent apparatus on a Chastero. Everyone knows that Yaga Kolba fought war in this country, and everyone knows that Yaga Kolba was heading SOD when Godfrey was under Yaga Kolba, taking instruction from Yaga Kolba. Everyone knows, so it's not a branding. So we thought that these people have changed their behavior. We thought about incorporating them into a strong functional structure of the state. In this, it was unstable, it was irresponsible.
Okay.
And government investigated.
Okay.
Of government, I have a clear recording. I will share that with you, Fidel.
Okay.
I have a recording of government getting involved into a brutal attack on peaceful citizens.
So with
uncivilized.
Okay.
And the issue of taking people to district number 10, I didn't take anybody to district number 10. The UP didn't take anybody to district number 10. When you listen to my inception, I said
you were seen with your guys marching on Saturday.
But those were electorate. Those were people who are ordinarily residing in district number 10.
Don't you think it was wrong at this point in time that we are all preaching peace to have, you know, men because you are going to register?
Especially considering what had transpired on Friday.
Okay, Joseph Yuma Bwaka, the standard bearer of the Unity Party, was seen in his community with people who escorted him to go and register.
You are referring to a standard bearer, and you are youth league chairman.
But I'm a youth league chairman. The young people constitute 68% of this country population, and that's the point. And I think you did. I don't know. I may not know your name exactly.
My name is Dennise Nimpson.
Sorry,
Dennise Nimpson.
Okay, Dennise, you sound as though you are. I said you are a young person, so I assume that you are a young person. We must stop. We must stop in this country. We must stop the culture of saying young people are irresponsible. We must stop the culture of saying young people are incompetent and young people cannot lead.
No, I'm not saying that.
Because if the standard bearer of the Unity Party can have people accompanying him to register, which we think is an ordinary thing. It's not something that you say, oh, it's lousy. It's not lousy. So if the young people escort the chairman of the youth league to a voting center, to a registration center to ensure that he registers, and that they too observe their fundamental and constitutional right, and you call that instigating violence. I don't know what
we are concerned because there was already some altercation there, you know, on Friday prior to even there.
So again, when I told you that the police released 7 persons under the instruction of Yaga Kolba and 112 Godfrey, it was at the result of what happened on Friday.
Okay.
So it is our expectation that the police has instituted law and order. The police have ensured that the environment was calm for peaceful citizens.
Okay, Imanda.
Because something happened
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Emmanuel, we have to let you.
Should not go about doing that normal activity. There was a situation happening on Friday. Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
I'm only concerned because you are the ruling party. Should be, ensuring that peace is maintained. And if you start to do this, people start to point accusing fingers at you.
Madam, I just told you that the youth league have communication in almost all of our international partner decks. On almost all of our international partner decks, we have communication, and those communication is recording violent statements, recording violent actions, and violent actors, recording their information on a pen drive and submitting it to these partners that they were involved into violence or carry on act of violence.
Okay.
So usually would not be seen, in an act of violence. We were very peaceful. We walked our way towards the center. The police deployed tear gas, and not just tear gas.
Our friend right now. Finally, from your end, what have you got to the people of Liberia?
Well, we encourage the young people to ensure that they go at the different centers to be able to obtain their voter registration card. The youth league has said that in this election, we'll win the election on the first ballot. And the first process towards winning the election on the first ballot is to ensure that we all register to vote. So we're encouraging young people to ensure that they register and have their voter registration card.
Okay.
Because that would be our power, that would be our decisions, and they have agreed. And I think you can see the numbers of young people. And if you say that's why you don't have to listen to people who say, oh, you're taking people from one place to another. Youth league is the only institution, it's the only structure of the movement that have leadership in the 15 political subdivision. So you don't have to take people from one district to take them to another.
All right, Emmanuel.
We don't need to mobilize that district to ensure that these people go and register to vote. So, Fidel, I appreciate the fact that you have me on this call. Please do not pay attention to Honorable Kolba. Honorable Kolba is already drowning. He is losing the election. He knows that very well.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was nice having you. Let's squeeze in the spokesman of Liberia National Police quickly. Even though I'm told the police have a press conference this afternoon, but it's important that we hear. Let's be the first to know what. Let's preempt what the police report or press conference will be about. So let's get in contact with Moses Carter, who's the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police, to establish exactly what they've gathered so far. Even if it is in a one sentence, let's know what the police has gathered so far. Moses will say he was busy, so the message always busy on other radio station. But we already have our 9 o'clock guest in studio prepped up for our discussion this morning. Is from Lofa County. Okay, Moses Carter is on the line right now. Moses, good morning and welcome to the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio.
Good morning, Fidel. Good morning to your co-host. And if you have guests in your studio, good morning to them.
Yes, of course we do have. Briefly, tell us, what has the police gathered from the District Number 10 incident on Friday and Saturday?
Well, we have a press conference to the effect today. It's an ugly situation that occurred in District 10, especially as it relates to clashes between, individuals believed to be that of supporters of, the CDC and that of individuals believed to be supporters of Honorable Yake Koluba. So on the basis of that, the police made some arrests. Like I said, there's a press conference today, so I'm not going to go into in-depth.
Okay.
The police made some arrests and recorded some injuries as well as damages on property damage or damages. And so the police is having a press briefing today, and the public will be duly updated on what happened and what can be done to avert a reoccurrence of said situation is what the police is going to communicate today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Moses Carter. Again, it was nice having you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Moses Carter is the spokesman of the Liberia National Police. We've established the three sides of the story, as I would call it, and it is now left with the public to judge with all of the explanations that were provided. But again, we will also count on the account of the police as one that is unbiased, and because the police are neutral, so we expect them to bring out the report that is unbiased and based on their investigation. All right. So
as we set up, can we just take course and then we transition to Honorable Clarence Massacre, Lofa County?
Exactly. 0777 105 100 0555 105 100. Let's hear you on this District 10 incident quickly. Let's hear you quickly this morning on the program The Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1.
Yeah, you have a call.
Yeah, I have a call here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. We're doing good.
Please go ahead quickly.
Go ahead quickly.
Something is on my mind. I want to explain to you this morning.
No, does it have anything to do with what we're talking about?
No, I know what I'm saying. When I was going on to.
Okay, quickly now. You get a few seconds.
Okay. I want to ask a question, please.
No, we're not answering questions, so it will be difficult. We have few minutes to take your calls. So apparently he's not ready. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Yeah. Good
Yes.
morning, my brother. Fidel City. Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
We're doing good.
Well, my name is Forrest Kumar, the co-chair for Operation National Response and Defense Team, and Popo Defender.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. To the issue of NO District number 10, I want to be clear on this note. You know, Fidel, we fought war in this country. We left here, the war fought. We saw the end of the war. Some of us now left the country. You live in witness of that. You never left the country. We live here, we saw end, and we know what happened to us here. It is the same thing that creeping in District number 10, and nobody causing this problem is Yeke Koruba. I want to be clear on this note. So I really like for the Liberian National Police and the international community, more especially our neighbor, which is our ally, the U.S. Embassy, to speak into the issue, so at least they can get the rest.
Thank you. Let's take another person. Good morning.
The way I guess.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Quickly, go ahead.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, my name is Alvin Daniel, and I'm from UN Draft. You see, when people representing people, you ask a question to one lawmaker, he didn't know how to address the question properly.
Why didn't you know how to address the question?
But all of the question he asked, man, get attacking personality. We were here also about June 7. They see Merkel come to the executive mansion, Costa make all the time he carry come to the executive mansion. Let's see, I get called back when most go to the University of Liberia, including people in mind from all the way district number 10, he came all the way in particular district number 8 to do what nobody knows. They make up, he got notice of violence.
Okay, thank you. Let's take another person. Good morning. You make a point.
Good morning.
Quickly, 30 seconds.
I'm Alfred Fala from Signature Estate. For the issue of district number 10, you see, let's just be fair to ourselves in this country. You know, one person, we know that one tree cannot make a forest. But the government are just taking beyond Yeke Goba. Yeke Goba is the president of this country. They just making all type of Baba education against Yeke Goba, and they can't be right. And apart from that, let's come to the registration issue you're talking about.
No, we're not on deregistration, Bennett. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, Fidel and Dennise, good morning to you and good morning to your listening public.
Good morning.
I'm John Birthday calling from the FPL this morning.
Yes, sir.
I listen to Yeke Koruba when you're talking. But it's just unfortunate. You know, Koruba normally come to the public without factual information. He normally come on without evidence to authenticate what he's saying. It is not strange. A media colleagues of yours, in person, Judah Jet.
We're talking about the district 10 thing, but don't be my friend here.
I'm just tell you how this guy come up with information without any fact.
Okay, thank you. You've made your point. Let's take 2 more calls and call it a day. Good morning. Good morning. Hello? Hello? Okay, apparently he's not getting me. The lines are jamming, Dennise.
Yeah.
Let's take this person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel.
Yes, sir.
And Sis Dennise.
Good morning.
David Yarin, a call from District 8.
Mm-hmm.
Fidel, on the issue of District 10, I'd like to condemn the issue of violence.
Mm-hmm.
I think our youth should not be involved in violence. If anyone wants to unseat any lawmaker in any district, let it be done through a democratic means.
Exactly.
Let us avoid the issue of violence.
Thank you very much. Dennise, I think we'll stop here because the calls won't just stop coming.
Sure.
We have to stop it here, and our guest is already in studio. And this is the Morning Breeze, the last segment of the program.
Yeah.
And this program has been aired on Alternative Youth Radio in Zozo, Lofa County. Thanks to my brother James Squabble there in Lofa County for making that possible. It's also relayed in Grand Cru on Atina Radio in Grand Cru County, and other stations that have not got in contact with us to inform us of their service to nation as well. So Honorable Clarence Masakwe is a representative of District Number 3 in Lofa County. He was elected in 2017 as a result of the general presidential elections, and he's been there for 5 years now. Riding the people.
ABC family for affording me this opportunity to talk national issues, and as the list will be determined by you. So thank you for the kind gesture,
Thank you.
kind opportunity.
Okay, hi, District 3. When was the last time you were in Lofa County?
I go to Lofa almost month. They are not planned, but for some reason I will be there every month. So I was there last month, and it's not just my electoral district. And maybe I should make some corrections here. I actually got elected in 2011.
2011, okay.
I got elected in 2011, and the people of Lofa, I can say, I'm sure they enjoy what we do, but at least I can confirm that I appreciate their confidence in the level of job that we've been able to do for the county, for the district, and for the country in general, working with people across political aisles, particularly my political party, whose ideology obviously I believe in and still believe in. So it's an opportunity. It's been a hectic job of capital building. Sometimes the news is good, sometimes the news is not good. Sometimes we appreciate the news reporters when they say things that are pleasant to our ears, but as maybe at a lower level, as somebody who practiced a media job before, I appreciate the work of the media. Sometimes it will not be what you want to hear.
Exactly.
But their job is not to make the news. Their job is to report the news.
Exactly.
So I respect that. And so it has been 10 years of capital building. It's been a very hectic experience. I got elected in my prime 30s. So I can fairly say it's a lot has been seen, a lot has been done, and it's been a very hectic job. It's a hectic job, but it's an opportunity to serve the people that we love, not just for the district, but for the country in general.
Okay.
So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Okay, thank you. Let's go straight in the county. I mean, you were elected on the basis of your desire to advocate for the improvement of education, infrastructure, agriculture, healthcare, and what have you. Let's look at all of these things in summary. What are the different statuses of all of these on which you were elected?
So I would be the first to say that I'm not going to present a perfect picture. But from 2011, you are right that firstly there was a general, what I would call a wave. There was a leadership wave, particularly from the young people who saw in me something that I probably didn't see myself. When I was approached to run, believe me, and I would say on this radio, I had a very huge fear. I mean, from where we come from, it has never happened for a young person at my age then to get elected. But I saw that a group of young people, students, young people who desire change in their leadership, decided that I would be a representative of their aspirations. So they follow me in the trenches. They still follow me, and I appreciate the confidence. So yes, on the basis of education, on the basis of healthcare. So most times the will that prepare you to leadership should never be forgotten about.
Exactly.
And so I realized that I came on the wings of the young people, and I still enjoyed that after. They took the rigs, they stood up where it wasn't tread, but they stood. So if you were to go to Lofa, I personally believe, even at the national level, I believe that we can build all the physical structures. Those structures, if our generation, if our young people are not liberated from their minds, those structures could get broken down in one day. And I don't have to tell you the evidence. We saw it in 14 years. So from 2011 up to now, I would not be able to lay my hands on the numbers, but I can tell you there are thousands of young people who would not have been to where they are today, up to a PhD level, who will not be to where they are today except our intervention. Because I believe that, look, these are the people who gave me the opportunity, and I have to look back and empower them. So education has been one of our, maybe I would say our biggest strength. I believe very strongly that we should invest in people. We should invest in people. I'm not one of those who is afraid that, if they get as competent as I am, then they will challenge me. I believe people cannot bring you to power, and your best bet is to keep them to where they are. So we invested a lot in education, both personally, but also working with national government. I would say governments, because government is continuity. I was in a leadership when Manasali was president, and now is the CDC-led government. I believe that service to people goes beyond political divide. There are some people who campaign against me. In fact, I would not call name, but there's a particular person who was a campaign manager of my opponent, one of my very strong opponents, who came tear or forth to me. And this guy was a campaign manager for that person. Today, he's finishing his master's in Rwanda. And I'm not bragging about that, but on my account. Because I believe that I am a representative of a generation. And it is very possible that some of those generational members will not be in my political party.
Exactly.
So I've always tried to say, you know what, I would try to go across political boundaries. So education, the people say the records are there. I would not.
So your focus has been capacity building.
Well, yeah, capacity building, not just the people themselves, but the infrastructure. You will go to some community now that will tell you, before I got elected, there were no schools. I can name about more than 6 different schools that are now there that were never there before we got elected, and they are not there on effort that are outside of our intervention, that are there because of our input. There is one that is being constructed now. As a matter of fact, before I got in this building, the fellow who came down for me came and met me on the phone. I was actually transferring money for the construction of one of the schools. So I believe very strongly that education is an equalizer.
Exactly.
That is a gift that you give to people Whether you get angry with them in the future, there's no way you can go back for it. And that is, for me, is a selfless gift. It's not going to give a material thing that after you get angry, you can get all more money, walk to the person's house and put in your car and move away with it. I strongly believe when people are liberated on their minds, then they are able to make informed decisions. When I go to elections, I want for people to make informed decisions. Let them do evaluation based on what I have been able to do. And it's not going to election. I tell people, maybe other districts are like that. You don't go to campaign in my district with burger rice. It's never going to happen. And this talk show, this program is relay, so the people of Lofa are here and they know what I'm talking about. I have never gone to campaign and said, oh, vote for me, I will give you burger rice. The Lofa people, particularly in that part of the district I come from, cross check it with your media colleagues. If you want to go and introduce, oh, vote for me, I will give you a burger rice. Believe me, you will be voted against.
This may seem to me, Honorable Masakwa may not have to campaign in the October elections.
No. Obviously, I will campaign. I will have to campaign. In fact, campaign is actually telling your own stories. All right, it's telling your own story. But we've been able to make some intervention in education, both educational opportunity. There are people who have PhD today who can say, I would not have had PhD. Well, I'm not God. So it's possible.
But your intervention made it possible.
But this time around is our intervention.
So let's go to health quickly.
Healthcare, there is a town in our call names. There's a town they call Sewadama. When I went to camping, the distance from that town to the next clinic is probably 7-8 hours. And I went to camping without even knowing what would have happened in the future. Then I gave a promise that if I ever got elected in 2011, I would make sure there's a clinic constructed there. Today that clinic is there,
functional.
Well, we stay trying to finish it.
Okay.
Because we plan that it will be and credit to the community members.
Okay.
All right. Credit to the community members. Medical materials, almost. There's no facility in my district that would say that we haven't been able to stretch hands to in terms of health. Community health workers, they are not paid, and I will not say what we give them, but they are the first line. They are the first line health people. Couple of years ago, we brought in 40 full containers of medical supplies. That was our own initiative. Okay. And this is not government. Where government will do some intervention, but living city, there's some communities you will go to. There are communities that you will go to, and if you wanted to wait for the government, government might probably not reach there. Of course, there are competing needs the government has.
So you the direct representative.
Well, yeah, you as a direct representative. Our hospital in Kolahun, it cost me about 9,800 plus or minus 10,000 to put in the materials in the operation theater.
Wow.
The government could not put it there by that time. And I went and the doctors told me, and it will sound scary. And the doctor said to me, this is not to make you afraid. But the instruments that we are using to do surgery in the hospital, if you're a medical person and I explain to you the condition of those materials, you probably will shut down the hospital. This is not time that you will wait for the government to put everything. Of my own resources, expendables, I've put in over 20,000 US in that hospital on different things. A standby generator, it hurts, except if you don't have heart for people to go to a community and they are toting people in a hammock to hospital. And that hospital is not equipped to receive them. It hurts. So I had to make that intervention. That's just one of the interventions. So healthcare, and I'm saying this not just in my electoral district. I strongly believe that I was brought to power by young people, by people who believe in me across the country. So when I get to Saydee, I don't say, oh, this is not my electoral district, so I'm not going to stop here. I can give you countless number of interactions. There's a town they call Tilema. It's Tilemu or Tilema. It's before Saydee. There are more than 27 students in that town, which is not my electoral district, who are benefiting from our initiative. And I will give you countless number of interventions.
Okay.
Agriculture. In my first term, when the IFA project came to Liberia, of course, it will be competition. People were competing for it.
Everyone wants it in their country.
There was a 24 million US dollars IFA project. I'm not bragging, which practically made its way to Lofa through our intervention. Not as a person, but I know I play a very, very major role. As Senator Clinton Johnson, Miss Senator Clinton, I thought she was the head of that project. So there are a couple of interventions that we have done from 2011 up to now. I probably will not be able to remember everything. I'm not saying that whatever we do in our district is a perfect situation. I will be the first to tell you that there are still communities that are challenged. There is a town that is almost between Lofa and Bapolu, and I went there the other day. That is the first time for anybody in government to show up in that town, and that's according to the town people.
What?
And I realized that the distance between that town and the two towns that are on both sides, it would take the kids 3 hours at least. And you know that anybody around 5 years, 6 years is not going to have the time to. Today, they are beginning the roofing of a 3-classroom building that is done squarely to our initiative. And I said to myself, look, if nothing is done here, by the time these kids reach to where they can go to school, they will be 15, 16. Forget it. They are done. And you are not going to have the schools that are a little bit distant from there to move towards, and obviously that's not going to happen. So we providing there, and somebody will say, it's your own money. But Saydee, if you were to go to some of those towns, except if you don't have a heart, but you will be moved. So we put in a school there. I believe that, look, by the time the kids finish that level, they will be at least a little bit strong to walk to the community. Yes. So it's being done. I'm working to the Ministry of Education to see if they can incorporate it after the construction. They can incorporate it in their system. So, well, good stories, but I will remind you there are challenges in those communities. I move in there and see pregnant women. I see students, and it reminds me, because I live part of that life too. I live in a place where I had to walk 4 hours to go, and I go and see some of my friends who were in school with me who they didn't make it, particularly females. And I don't try to stereotype them. But I know that growing up as a child in a village, the conditions that the men can stand, the women will not stand it. And so you go to the towns and see women who are not educated, not because they didn't have the capacity, but just the society structure, they didn't allow them to go to school. I am happy now as the leader of the nation. What happened to my generation should not happen to the next generation. So those are some of the things that we're doing back in the county, and I hope from what I hear is resonating. And I'm not here to evaluate.
No, I mean that's exactly
from what I hear. I think it's a good news. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not sure the situation has been perfect, but we'll try to do the best that we can do, given the resources that we have, or that we can harness from the government, from partners, and to some extent too from our own resources.
Okay. We'll go to key issues in your district. There are questions I've generated from your district, but let's go on. You are the chair on section.
Correct.
One of the things Liberians believe that is hampering economic growth in our country is the decision that was taken on this tax waiver on concession companies. Do you believe so?
Article 34 DI of the Constitution gives the power to levy taxes to the national legislature.
Exactly.
And it says that it should originate from the House of Representatives. It's constitutional.
Yeah.
There is no statutory body in our governance structure that is given such an authority except the national legislature. We heard, and I'm saying we heard because I have requested for that MOU. I hope it's at the office now because I've not been here. I've been in Freetown on the conference. So I hope it's available now. At least from the House of Representatives, we do not believe that you should waive what you don't have power to levy. The Constitution says only the legislature shall levy taxes.
Mhm.
When you sign concession agreement, it is deemed as legal only when it is ratified by the House of Representatives, by the national legislature,
Sure.
so to speak. It is our opinion that the executive branch of government has got no rights to waive what they don't have power to levy. I've cited the Minister of Justice, and I only want him to come and explain to me. We had a meeting the other day. The Minister of Mines and Energy was in our meeting. The chairperson from the National Investment Commission was in our meeting. The manager of Western Cluster was in our meeting. And the reason I invited him to the meeting was to tell him that whatever decision is taken by the government affects your investment. So I want you to be in the room to hear what is being discussed. And the Minister of Lands and Mines said to me that that was a learning curve for him.
A learning curve?
Yes. That was a learning curve for him because I asked him a simple question. He said to us in the meeting that the company asked the government to waive some of the taxes. And I said, okay, the company asked the government, I want you to define government. That's all I want from you. I want you to tell me if the government means the executive, or at least maybe there's a constitutional reform that government now is the executive. But the company asks you to waive taxes to them. Whatever the justifications were or are, there is no constitutional powers given to any branch of government to unilaterally waive what was levied or what can only be levied by the legislature. And this is reasoning. The Minister of Justice will be appearing before my committee. And I'm only asking him to come and answer just a simple question. What is your definition of government? And he said to me, the Lands and Mines said to me, government is 3 branches constitutionally, 3 but coordinate branches. He said 3 branches. I said no, are coordinate. That's what
exactly.
So, given definition of government, do you think that you had a right to waive what you waived? And the hearing was suspended. I hope that when it comes to answer now has, and I'm just trying to ask me to waive taxes, whatever the are. The concession was signed. There came Ebola and every other thing, force majeure. That's not my issue. I'm not even questioning the content of the concession. Firstly, ask yourself, can an MOU be a substitute for a concession? I believe no. We believe no, and I can say this from the House of Representatives side that is a big no. Even if the waiver was justifiable, it can only be done by the government. In this case, the government means the 3 branches. Do you know that the other day the citizen for bombing went to the court with the same issue? This matter was in court. So it doesn't make sense to me for one branch of government to assume
suspect or motive
that the definition of government is the executive. And let me add this, city. Maybe this has not come to your attention. I'm informed reliably that the executive either has or is in the process of waiving taxes to China Union. I just want to throw this warning.
China Union
concession is trying to come back online. And just as it was done in a case of Western Cluster, I am hearing, and I hope it is not true, that the executive either has or is in the process of waiving taxes to China Union. Let me just, and maybe I should pay for this. Let me just send this as a warning.
Yeah, I'm calling the business people
to the executive that at least I can say this clearly from the House of Representatives as chair on investment. If the executive is thinking about doing that or has done it, it would be very advisable. It would be a very great move. It would be a smart move for them to just it. because that is not going to happen unless it is cleared by the House. And I'm not even saying that it should not be done. Trust of the government, whatever, however reasonable, however persuasive, however smart a concession agreement is,
pass through the
it is
legislature.
only deemed as legal when it is ratified by the legislature and signed into law, printed into handbill by the presidency. So anything short of that, and I'm not threatening any investor. Of course, as a matter of fact, my job as chair on investment is not just to make sure the right thing is done by investors, it's also make sure that investors are comfortable.
So I was asking whether you think there's some motive. Why do you think these things have been done in such a way?
By the time the decision was being taken, Western Cluster was owing the government 23 million US dollars.
Yeah, plus.
It comes across to me that it cannot be free of motive for agents of the executive to waive 13 million US dollars without reverting to the authority. I don't know where the Senate stands on this, but at least I can speak for the House of Representatives. This issue is before the committee, and it's not an issue against an investor, but we want to make sure that our governance structure, the people who wrote the Constitution were not stupid. That before this is deemed as a government decision, don't forget, maybe it's not even, concessions are not between the executive and the legislature. It's signed between the government and investor. The concession comes to the legislature. It is negotiated by the executive. But for us to ratify, you either ratify in whole or reject. Because once the legislature does any change on it, it means it has to go for renegotiation. Because the concession is not between the executive and the legislature.
It's between the government.
Whatever change we make on it has to go back to the executive, and then the executive will engage the investor, because the agreement is not between the both branches. It's between the government and the investor.
Sure.
Okay. Now
that's why you saw the metal steel is going through what it's going through, because once we disagree with one portion of it, we have to get it back to the executive to say, this portion of the government doesn't agree with this. So on behalf of the government, go back to the investor and say the government has disagreed with this. That is the beauty of how the law is structured. So for you to get up one money and you waive taxes without the people's input, and the people are represented by those who they elected. That is our point. Is in our opinion that the executive was wrong, and it is not late to undo what was wrong and right the wrong. Somebody said to me, "Oh, the Western Cluster has paid 5 million." But Saydee, if you go and make a payment of 5 million to where you should have paid 10 million, how is that good to me?
Now, this is very key. The LRA is reporting that Liberia losses over $300 million in tax waiver.
Correct.
All right. To just, tax waiver. How injuring is this to the revenue generation of our country vis-a-vis the development drive of government?
I just even forgot to add up that the meeting will include the LRA, because don't forget, it's the LRA that does that presented the bill. So I want to ask the LRA, are you a signatory to the MOU? Because if you sign it, then you calculated the bill. You didn't levy it. The legislature levied it, and you calculate. So they all are going to be in the same room. And let me emphasize again, it is not just about Western Cluster. It is about our committee trying to put the right thing in place. Because if care is not taken, you will realize that you can go and sign a concession agreement, and somebody in the executive can get one money and say, "Look, I'm gonna waive this." Tax waivers are actually their expenditures. It means that you are supposed to make 100 million per year in taxes, and you are saying to yourself, "I'm going to waive this portion of the taxes." You have to calculate when we sign on tax waivers. We have to calculate. I'm waiving $10. Is this company going to employ people that will give me income tax
to make up for
that will give me corporate income tax, that will give me personal income tax, that will pay royalties, that will be equal to or more than the 10,000 or the 10 hours I'm waiving. All these calculations are done.
Okay.
So in the absence of doing that, now even if you did that calculation by the executive, it has to be confirmed by the national legislature. We have the account that yes, we waive these taxes in exchange for this. But one minister somewhere get on one money and say, "Oh, I slept on my right side this morning. I'm happy. I'm going to waive some taxes." It's wrong.
Okay, let's go to politics. You are a member of the Unity Party.
Correct.
And you've been involved in this whole CPP thing.
Yeah.
And it collapsed, so to speak. First of all, you contested in the speakership election in 2017.
The deputy speaker election.
Deputy speaker election, sorry.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, from that point, did you envisage an opposition? Because it was seen that those who were from the end of the opposition were in dominance to have had you elected, but it did not happen. Besides, the votes that you accumulated in deputyship election was not reminiscent of what the entire opposition lawmakers were. Was that an indicator people was just a farce, so to speak?
Well, there are some things that are unfortunate realities.
Mm-hmm.
My participation in the deputy speaker election was well intentioned.
Okay.
It was well thought through. I believe very strongly that it gave me an opportunity to compete in a national election outside of my electoral district. I ended up with 21 votes, which was came around the number of quote unquote opposition number. As an insider, I clearly understand. By the way, the first person who voted for me and showed the picture was Yeke Koluba.
Oh, okay, good.
And so to some extent, I saw the opposition working together to some extent. People have different views, and this is politics. There are some things that we're not using media to talk about. I respect my colleagues. That is behind us. But it was expected that the opposition would show strength. And to some extent, I believe some members of the opposition actually stood, and I can go there and call names. If you are to have a process of such, I can tell you about 25% will say, you know what, this is our side of the divide. Since that process, I've always tried to have politics, in fact, life in general. When you attempt certain things, whether you get it or not, it puts you one step. You cannot afford to be just ordinary anymore. And so, yes, it was expected that the opposition should have held together. And I saw a semblance of opposition unity. The first time I sat down in a meeting, in a one-on-one meeting with Cummins, it was when I was contesting as deputy speaker. He didn't have voting right. But by then he was chair on the CPP. I can tell you very much that he showed goodwill. All the political leaders showed goodwill. I believe that the level of conversation that we went through that brought the leadership in 2018 was not kept by the CDC, and I can say this here. CDC folks decided, oh, okay, we had an agreement in 2018. We are not going to live with it anymore. We're now going to go 100% our party issue. But we all are making history. I'm sure history will come back. But that was part of the factors. In 2018, if we had the leadership election on the basis of the counties you can form, the parties you have formed, I doubted this. I strongly believe when we went for that second election for the deputy speaker, I believe the CDC guy decided it would not be true to agreement. If any of them are this radio, they will tell you that I'm saying the truth. But as a national leader, I'm trying to move on beyond certain things. But coming back to the issue of, yes, I believe that I still believe it should have been a wake-up call for the opposition. After that process, we saw the CPP, for the lack of better word, crumbled, and we all must take responsibility for what happened. I believe it presented an unfortunate letting down, and I will not miss my words here, letting down of the expectations of the Liberians. Of course, you know, after 2019 senatorial election, everybody was in high gear following the CPP. While the CPP didn't hold, unfortunately, there is still a semblance of opposition unity, which I think all of us, in whatever form, should promote. That's why I've said to people, Cummings is not the biggest target here. Those on the ANC side shouldn't see the UP as the biggest opponent. We are all expected to provide an alternative to this leader, which, in my opinion, hasn't performed. And I can tell you a long list of reasons why I think it hasn't performed. You follow the.
Let's concentrate on the CPP.
Even the management of our natural resources, we had an LEITI, what I was very, very active. Today, LEITI is practically not existent. Before 2006, you couldn't appear as a proud Liberian to hold your passport. After 2006, our image got restored. Today, it is clearly seen our passports are in the hands of foreigners, some people, some criminals. So coming back, I expect that yes, the CPP, they didn't work on the papers, but as a major player within opposition circle, I strongly believe that we have 8 more months.
Is that a possibility?
We have 8 more months for the opposition in whatever form, whatever manner we manage it, not to dash the hopes and aspirations of Liberians. But I believe alone, my greatest enemy in the room here is ANC. I don't.
If you ask about your aspiration of what the CPP makeup should look like, what would be your own imaging of what the CPP?
Well, technically, the CPP now is obviously, you know, is the ANC, and I hope I will not fall in trouble here and the fashion of the Liberty Party.
Yeah,
the fashion of the Liberty Party.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, interesting, but that's what we have.
So how do we factor in Unity Party and other parties?
The Unity Party is, and I'm not saying this because I'm a member of the UP. The Unity Party is the biggest opposition bloc. We are expected to pull the rest of our, and that is fairly going on. Pull the other opposition political parties, bring us together, because Fidel, if care is not taken, we may, and it's scary to say this, but we may just have 6 more years of lost opportunities.
You call it lost opportunity?
If the opposition doesn't come together, if we don't come together, if we don't, and I expect that political party play a bigger role, calming down all the tension within the opposition without force.
Does it appear like you will come together? I mean, you in the thick of things.
It may not be possible to have one presidential ticket, but depending on the way we manage ourselves, it's very, very possible that at some point maybe on the front could come together.
Even for money.
But that's what I'm saying. If we bruise ourselves so hard, we hurt ourselves hard, it makes it difficult for you to go down and say, oh, this person who I said was a rogue is now an injured. How? In 2 months, it's been deceptive. So I expect that it's not, well, we are nearing the red line. We're not there yet. Pick up on pieces. If you don't support one presidential candidate, so to speak, because of where we have gone now, to the extent to which we have gone, but I strongly believe that we should have our eyes on a bigger goal, on the bigger picture. What is a bigger picture? Liberians get up in the morning. In fact, they go to bed hungry. They get up in the morning, they bag of rice that was $14, now it's $18, it's hitting the roof. They get up in the morning, and security. There are thousands of cases that have been, and the police spokesman call you. Investigations that are inconclusive. Lives are being lost on a daily basis. And it seems to people that they don't care about it. And this is the challenge that is looking us in the face as opposition. What do we say to Liberians? What ticket do we present to the people that we wanted to change this government? This is the alternative that we are bringing. How?
So
we are there, and I can say this in the public, and I say this from a clear conscience, where I'm in a political party, but I owe it to Liberians first. At this age, I mean, I'm one of those who given opportunity at a very young age to be entrusted with national leadership. Fidel, at this point in time, I have no option that to be bluntly honest that the opposition has an uphill task. We face with a challenge of being able to present a credible ticket to Liberians.
Okay.
So what I'm concerned about, the issue of the opposition, I mean the CPP coming together to form a ticket, it seems unrealistic and unachievable. Now the concern now is about your own standard bearer having to select a running mate to kickstart this in terms of regaining power or unseating this present establishment. So I'd like to know, what do you make of that?
Ambassador Joseph Boakai enjoys huge confidence of the Liberian people for over 10 years, not just as president. That 60 Liberians across the globe, the world over, have shown sufficiently that we live in the integrity, in the state of this of the political leader of the Labour of the United Party and the standard bearer of the United Party.
Okay.
We are at a point where we have, and it's a great challenge that we have to present a credible and a reliable ticket. You know, I always say this to people: when you are the coach, when people want to determine how determined you are to win a match, they look at the lineup. So, who are the players fighting? There's a big international match, and the coach, maybe in that case I should say Coach Keita is our new coach. Coach Keita is expected to unveil the Liberian national team. When he releases the list of those who he has invited, the Liberian people say, okay, I'm going to buy my ticket. I'll go on the football field because of the team that the coach has unveiled. That is practically the situation that the UP and particularly the former vice president is faced with. I have said this, and I want to say it on this radio.
Okay.
I asked him before, I said, Mr. Vice President, when Madam Salif in 2005 selected you, what did she say to you?
Okay.
When you select your running mate, there are things you say to them that, look, Dennise, I've been chosen by my political party to contest for the presidency. This is where Liberia is. Liberia is void of transparency. The governance structure is particularly, I don't like to say but it's down the drain. The confidence of the people in the government is fast, is fast vanishing. There's a huge leadership deficit that the Liberians want to answer this question. You have been selected to lead this charge. Then I asked him, I said, what did Manasali say to you as reasons why she chose you? She chose you because of integrity. She chose you because you were a statesman. She chose you because you were not an angel, so to speak.
Okay.
But you represented a character that could be used to redeem a lost image. Fast forward in 2023. If you were to choose, or whoever becomes your choice of the running mate, is that the coach unveiling the team. ask ourselves, how will you convince yourself first that I have a country, the economy is challenged.
Okay.
Economy of 40, they don't seem to be working. We have taken more loan than it was in the last 6 years of the in fact maybe of the last 10 years. The governance structure, the management of our natural resources, transparency, and accountability. We have a system where individuals are richer than the state. We have a system where leaders believe that they should have more houses for them. So I'm saying to him, when you reveal or you unveil your team, what is your conviction? And there where we are right now. So I hope that he will make the right decision, because Liberians, Dennise, this is not just about partisanship. I know thousands of Liberians who are not card-holding members of the UP who are on edge waiting for this decision to be made. And I have said to my standard bearer, ask yourself, I want you to convince yourself first that when you were chosen, what did the president say to you? Did he say to you that you are a credible person? Did he say to you that you are a transparent person? Did he say to you that you are an honest person?
Doesn't mean that you are seeing someone that he should be selecting.
When you go and choose, ask yourself first, what do I say to the person who I'm choosing? From your own conscience. Liberians, walk the street. What is that team that you're going to unveil outside? He said to me, one time he said, we want to have a government that is inclusive. I said, okay, fine. Inclusive on religious line, inclusive on regional politics, inclusive on generational integration. I don't say a generational change. I always say generational integration. And all along all these lines. I personally believe that the definition of the standards that we set for leadership should not just be necessarily because, oh, I'm a woman, so choose me. Or I'm young, so choose me. Well, yeah, these are very critical things. They are very, very important. I'm not saying they're not important. But beyond those lines, how credible is this ticket? How transparent is this ticket? How does it respond to the needs or the leadership deficit that we have to answer to?
With that being said, there are a few names that have been coming up.
It's a huge task, but I believe in his wisdom that he will present to Liberian people a ticket that will reflect his brand.
What are the ticket that will represent his brand?
Of course, you follow the former vice president for some time now. Liberians believe that you are a credible person. Sometimes people are known for certain things and they expect that you walk in a line. But I expect that whatever decision that he makes eventually should be one that adequately answers and presents a slate of ticket that will be able alternative to what we have now.
Do you
I trust his wisdom. I trust that he will make the right decision.
Do you think his delay is causing problem for the United Party?
To be very, very honest, I would think. I may not say late, but I can safely say time is running out.
Okay.
Because you see, Dennise, one thing I've learned in my short public service, we don't have control on how the public interprets our actions, our actions or inactions. So therefore, when there is an action that should be taken on behalf of the people, Dennise, rather it seems as though the whole world is waiting for a JNB decision. It is almost that the majority of Liberians, and I can say this here, I follow opinion polls. I worked yesterday. I was in Bombing. This is not on radio. These are people who don't have, excuse me for the expression, in some villages, they don't even have coverage. They could have their phones, but they don't have coverage to call. These are people who are not calling on the radio. And I know what they said. I know how people are anxious. It's almost like once you make the decision, the election is yours to lose. It is almost becoming that the UP is a ruling party and other people are running. So this decision I may not say late, but I can say as an insider and as a national person who hears from across the globe, from across the house, I strongly believe, well, not late necessarily, but time is essentially running out. I can only caution him, make sure, think it through, not on personal basis, on the basis that Liberians need a leadership that they can be proud of, a leadership that can redeem the past 4-5 years of this huge deficit, a leadership that can restore the hope of the Liberian people, a leadership that will ensure that people can go to court and have their right without being attached to any ruling party, a leadership that will ensure that somebody's daughter will not die and they are almost becoming a perpetrator instead of a victim, a leadership where young people can have access to improved education without being a member of the ruling party.
Okay, let's
ensure that state resources will not end up in people's personal pocket and the individuals are richer than the state. This is the leadership deficit that we have, and Liberians are looking up to the UP to provide to fill in this puzzle.
Okay,
we cannot afford to let down the hope of the Liberian people, the hope, the dreams and aspirations of the generation unborn. This is the case that we have, and I expect that we'll take the right decision.
All right, Honorable Masako, let's take a few calls, even though we have still one unresolved issue, and I hope you can be as brief as possible. The issue of the census, quickly. Your party is one of those parties that have had issue with the outcome of the census. Briefly, let's start on it.
First of all, I must say this very quickly, that any attempt by the Election Commission to do demarcation on no basis, because the basis are laid out in the Constitution, how you can make adjustment, you can make demarcation of a political boundary. From what I see happening around is extremely unconstitutional. As a matter of fact, the legis has not officially laid before the legislature and a census result. So I don't know on what basis people are removing, putting centers, and this is how the Election Commission sets itself up to cause confusion in the state. You haven't presented any report. On what basis are you doing redemarcation? If you take one center from this center and put it in another district, it's redemarcation. I believe it's unconstitutional. We are going for a leadership meeting today. I hope that information will come up to us. And once that is done, a decision is taken. Okay. The census result, the numbers, you can see the numbers are very well cooked. You know, when in accounting, when they say the numbers are cooked, they are manipulated. They are counties. There are counties that the population has grown 90%. Some counties are 24%. Some counties are, even though the UNFPA says that contraceptive usage is more done in the southeast, but it's as though contraception is giving birth to more to increase.
It's important raised by Honorable Larry Youngquay.
You know, so but this is the situation, and these are the things. These are the leadership issues that we have.
Okay, let's go to the phone lines.
It's a terrible thing.
Let us take a few calls because we have no time on the program. We are
your people need to hear from you. I mean, you need to hear from your people.
077-105-100, 055-105-100. Let's hear you on the program. We have Honorable Clarence Masako of Lofa County, District 3. Let's hear what you make of his appearance on the radio. 077-105-100, 055-105-100.
Okay, so those are the numbers. This is the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1, and this program has been relayed on Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County and Radio Atina in Grand Crew County. Dennise, take that call. Good morning.
My name is Aliu Vij Gujukane, calling from the District 13 Derema community. Thank you to the studio guests for my podcast and declare that all of those discussions that he has around on the radio, they are all fact. And I can tell you that more especially when it comes to the choosing of Honorable Joseph Boakai for presidency, comes toward 2023. It is going to be a measures that will take over the entire globe, and we citizens are waiting. We are waiting on that decision.
Okay.
And from that decision, that the Unity Party is going to, start, to retreat this country back from this kind of misguided leadership. We are going to have a leadership that will bring our people back together. We are going to read. We are going to push the how you call it, the legitimacy of peace.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing good.
Taking the clarity, Master Quaid. We have said it all. These are the issues that are falling currently in our country. People are giving manipulated figures from ladies and all of it, and it's not exciting. But I would like to speak to the issue that has to do with the former president taking his running mate. Well, like you said, the forwardness of Unity Party will depend on who Mr. Barker picks. And when I be with the situation in 2017, when you pick on viral running mate that shocked almost everybody, and we find it difficult to propagate that message. We hope and pray that you go working along with him to see how they can take the best to the 11 for expression. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. 077-105-100, 055-105-100. Ela point lo fine one. Ela represented so good that you don't even got a question for him. But let's take this person. Good morning.
Why you want to put? Why you
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Let's hear you.
And I also want to say good morning to Clarence. My name is Sheikh Fidel. I'm joining from Banabe Garris Market, District number 12. Honorable Clarence, thank you very much for your further deliberation. You will for your
We're not getting
you. Just get away from your monitor, please.
Are you getting me now?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay. I said, Honorable Masakwa is from Lupa, and my parents are from Lupa. I have a problem with that. The big problem, more especially the law because for the United World. The government will decide to suffer us, more especially from the executive branch. They will decide to suffer us. They will bring something that is not in favor of the family, in favor of the other people. But you people that we depending on, we send your own partners to represent us, to do the horrible thing for us. I mean, you always start with the government to do the ugly thing. I mean, I thought they really backwards, more especially when we talk at the head of this video.
Yeah, quickly now, just yeah.
When we say this, many people now depending on God and depending on the United Party administration. But tomorrow, you people will be the ones that will be referring to.
Okay, thank you. We have to leave you there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Washington Kawara. I'll call from Monrovia Specific District number 9, Rivertown Community. All right, I want to speak to the issue and speak to my lawmaker. I'm from Glover County to be specific District number 3, where Honorable Karen Masakwa is serving as representative currently. All right. Good morning, my Honorable.
Good morning, Washington.
Okay. I listened keenly to the deliberation of the Honorable, more especially when the topic started from Glover County District number 3, before reaching to Unity Party, across the country.
Just make your point, Chief. You go straight to the point.
You see, when it comes to District number 3, the Honorable is speaking, and the Honorable tombs are not holding. Are not very corresponding because, to justify a justifiable issue, it's very hard to be, to be correspondent.
Okay, thank you. Because I don't want you talking. Honorable, go ahead, just respond to the callers and give your party comments, please.
Well, let me start by I will for because I wanted him to explain the rest of it. I know Washington is my very good. Washington a few class below me, but we're in the same school, so
okay.
Yeah, Washington, Paddy and I come from the same town, so I wanted him to explain all of that. But I hope the next time he will have the time. So we don't have much time. I just like to again reaffirm that our job at the national legislature, particularly on all these concession issues, when you sit in a place and see millions of dollars. B Mountain, MG Go, Mita, Safecar, GVL, Mano, from St. Darby to Mano now. It's a very huge job to do. We're not perfect. As my colleagues would join me on it. Fidel, it doesn't say what is our ownership. It just says company. Pay royalty, pay real income tax, pay corporate income tax, and that's it. So what portion of the mineral resources actually belong to us? The law is from 2000. That's almost 20 years ago. The conditions have changed. So these are some of the things that we want to get involved with. Similar things. The last budget we passed against the budget, and I saw people belong to my class, to my side of the political divide. Raising money, but that's expected. I'm in a room, friends across the aisle. I have friends even within the CDC, within other political parties, but when it comes to the interest of the state, I am voting against the budget, and some members of my political party are raising motion to pass the budget, and sometimes it's frustrating. But this is to say very clearly that capital building is a number game. Sometimes I may not agree 100% with the method of doing it, obviously, but sometimes I see what sometimes they get frustrated. I may not agree with the method, it means the manner in which you do it, but this is the situation we have. To close, the UP has an uphill battle. The country is like you on life support, and they tell you that one specialist is coming, the man is at the airport now. That's how the country looks at Fidel. I'm not saying it become the UP. Go around, listen to people. Last night I had, and I'm not overstating, last night I had 3 calls of people who are non-political people. I will not call names. Some of them in some of these international organizations who are not allowed to practice politics, but they are getting concerned. They are now taking their phones, and some of them reach out to me. One of them is from the States. Clarence, where are we? Time is running. It seems as though Fidel, sometimes it makes me practically afraid. And 2 things I feel is an opportunity that the country is having this huge confidence in the UP. Huge confidence. Fidel, I will not compromise any institution. But there are people who are not allowed to practice politics. They are reaching out.
Okay.
They are reaching out. And Liberians, do not give up on this decision. I very, very much believe there will be a decision that will be a complete representative of your aspirations. And when we unveil our team, then they say the coach is ready to win this game. Fidel, is almost like the UP has this election is for us to lose. And I feel how the people feel. I feel the excitement. I feel the emotions. And I was told the former vice president, takes a decision. Convince yourself. If you were to have investment of $10 million, your own money, and you are employing a management team, what is that management team that you bring?
That is the task.
That's what Liberians are asking for. They are not asking us to pay more money. They are asking us to make the right decisions. That's all they want.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Honorable Massaquoi, for being part of the Morning Breeze. Yeah.
And we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Folks, we have to go and Honorable Clarence Massaquoi, maybe we'll give a few seconds to you.
I'm becoming a little bit emotional. Right? But Fidel, when I move in the street, from here, I'm walking down on Rana Street. Sometimes I go there, and I know how the ordinary Liberians feel about their government. If you were to ask me to give a grade, President Weah gave Manasali 80% close election. If I want to be very magnanimous, then I have skilled a grade. I will give you guys
40%. Whoa. Okay.
That is I'm plus or minus, it will be around, you're just going
Okay.
But that's where Liberians are.
Okay.
We can have it's hurting. We can feed the things.
Okay,
women.
thank you so much.
Mr. Former Vice President, Liberians are waiting for us. I have joined them to make sure we deliver a credible ticket, perfect, but that speaks to the aspirations of the Liberian people. They expect that from us, and we cannot afford anything less than that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being part of the show. And Fidel be birthday of Stanley Kamara. We would like to say happy birthday to Stanley. He's celebrating today.
Yeah, he got me on a bad note, so I intentionally decided not to wish him happy birthday. But yeah, as a May, I still have happy birthday.
Of course,
Happy
everything in the studio.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Stanley Kamara. He's a hard-working dude, and we appreciate what he does here, and we want to welcome him for all he has done and continue to do for ABC Radio. I hope we celebrate in the building this morning after the show. Folks, thanks for your listening, Ro. Thanks for viewing as well. Dennise, I think just do some justice to our viewers, man.
Yeah.
Let's get to.
I'm afraid of boy.
Yeah, but man, I mean, we do not tend to recognize watching. Jimmy Dan is watching.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dan is watching. You don't have to display the. You just want to see the comments. And Augustine Q Jusu is also watching. Joseph Coley Kotu is watching.
Elizabeth Peccator what is watching. Lavadino Dos Santos is watching. There are others watching. Augustine Jusu is watching. Darlington Tagi, okay. Joseph Kotu, I think from Lofa County also is watching, and several of them. That's it.
That's it. We have to go. We're complaining. Have to go. Folks do have. They have presidential. That will be our guest on the program tomorrow morning. Do have yourselves a good day. I like it.